I met a Gypsy.
Let's maybe switch focus to the racing a little bit. Like, I think you guys are in a very cool place because I think you're going to be able to be innovative in your approach. Like, so for example, there was at points this year where Joey Savacci and a couple of the other guys had Cardo systems and they were doing rider communication. Like I saw the clips, like they were a partner of ours, right? And so they showed us clips and they showed us the way that they were using the system. And so I'm a big proponent of comms, as you know, but these guys are using it even a step further where Joey's got it on in qualifying and his mechanics like, hey, you've got 14 seconds till the checkered flag. Like you have to get to the start line now. Like don't fuck around, get to start your lap. So it was like really cool to just see, okay, there's just flexibility here and there's less hoops to jump through, it seems like, from your end to implement something like that. That is just, I don't know. I mean, I don't know when it's going to be implemented in the AMA. Like, hopefully it does. But to me, it's just like a complete no-brainer that we need some kind of communication. So you guys are in this unique position where you can just like pull the trigger and make something like that happen.
We obviously need to run it past the FIM and work with the relevant departments at the FIM if it's going to be on the track. And we're really lucky that the group in Geneva are really open-minded to this level of innovation. I am a massive proponent for, the more and more we can do to peel back the curtain of any form of professional sport is the way to create content. I'm not 100% sure what the best iteration of this comms is going to be for the consumer. I think there's some really great stuff for the athlete and his engineer and in qualifying and in practice. I'm not sure it's a live race product, but open-minded too. And then how do we show that to the consumer? Is there a secondary stream where during practice, if you go onto our streaming network and you can buy practice for 50 cents, you get to listen to either the Cardo stream or the commentary stream? Is that something that people want to buy and interesting? So I think we're going to have to do quite a lot of market testing on what is that product. Is it just a highlights piece? Because it'll have to be built on, there'll be a nature of servicing the sport from a sporting operations piece, but that will ultimately get funded by then how we tell the story of that so that we sell more Cardo pieces. And I don't think we've quite worked out what the product needs to be to support the operations. It's coming. And we did obviously a couple of test days at the end of last year. We won in Abu Dhabi and one in Canada.
How was your experience with it? Like,
I think it's great. It's absolutely great. I think it's great. And I drive a Vespa around London. Yeah. And I've got a Cardo unit. Yeah. And I think they're awesome. And it's funny enough, it's actually when I'm driving my Vespa around London and I'm on my Cardo unit, I'm often quite thinking about, I'm like, I wonder how would this work with this here? I think there's some really interesting sound technology that you can add to it to give like a purity in the sound that if we're going to be on a broadcast, we've got to really think about. We've seen that with other motorsport assets, having to really consider how sound is coming back out of it. At the moment, it's absolutely world class for the riders. Yeah. Now, clearly, once you go through latency and you go through broadcast, et cetera, is it as good there? And what can we do to make sure that it is? Because I'll suddenly get held accountable for that. So it's finding that mix behind the sort of inside the NFL mic'd up, head coach mic'd up model versus what might be the outcome product. Yeah. But you're right. I think that level of innovation, and if you look at where else we want to be looking at second streams, we want to be looking at telemetry. I think one of the things that, again, I take my experience of being potentially the most inexperienced Supercross guy at the track most times I turn up. And I was at the Paris event, which is amazing. Heads Eric Pernard and the team there.
It's wild, eh?
Yeah, it's really cool. I really loved it, and I obviously know that arena really well because it's a rugby arena by sort of day to day at La Défense, and it's got this enormous screen at the end. It's just so perfect for Supercross. If we could have X number of those around the world, we'd be winning. But however great that screen was, and however great the racing was and the framing, I still sat in my seat and I was like, there's still something missing for the layman consumer of the sport. And if you go back to those kind of 4 buckets that we spoke about, that in the jeans, that's Kurt Nickel. So when I'm sitting with Kurt's like, whoa, did you see that? And I'm like, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, no. And then I look around to try and find a replay, and it's obviously not there. And he's just like, he's consuming it in a way that I'm just not.
Yeah.
So how can I improve or develop the experience of the person who is coming for the first, second, third time? And what are the things he needs, she needs? What second screen option? What needs to be on our big screens? Do we have to have a track map, and is that track map clearly telemetry saying where people are at any one time? How, from a digital point of view, can we enhance letting people know what incredible athletes they are? So have we got heart rates? Have we got the impact that it's having on bodies? What are we doing reference, telling them how high they're going, the speeds they're going over whoops? Like, what's the technology that can be really this like deep consumption point for the in the genes, but also be a real simplistic point,
an educational piece. Yeah.
And those are things that I spend all my time thinking about.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.